Hey everybody, Johnny B. Good here. Okay, we are located at the Pilot here in Hebron, Indiana. I got me some fuel and now I'm doing my break. I really don't want to drive through Chicago right now. I would imagine the traffic up there be quite heavy, so how about we say we go and do our walkabout. Baby Blue, you stay here, don't go nowhere. Right now I want to show you this. This amazes me how they can do this. Sometimes I've seen these guys do 4 trucks at a time. Brand spanking new T680s. I wonder whose color this is. The color looks very, very familiar. Wow, look at that. Wonder how they got that thing. Looks like some heavy duty stuff. Hi there. Just kind of curious, how do you guys do this? Nothing to it?
Yeah, well, I can say there's nutty end there. If you didn't see it. Comes up there, they got the bracket on the end on the string.
Yeah.
The string holds up the back. And then where the bolt, where the center of the frame cover, the axle comes across, it's bolted.
Okay.
The sled, and then up front there they got the pins out. So, different places.
Where did you pick this up at?
Chillicothe.
Chillicothe.
These are made in Chillicothe, Ohio.
Where are you delivering to?
These are going to Windsor,
Canada.
Wisconsin.
Oh, Wisconsin. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. They're fine. You lower the legs if the legs are working, and drive out of under like a normal trailer, and then you pull the pins off the front here. These pins, pull that pin, do this, slide that whole thing back, put that in the box, so this, and then unfold it from there.
Yeah.
That's the box. One back here. So you can go over back over there, pull those pins, get rid of the strap, and then
Now you can do this all by yourself.
yeah. It's nice if we got a record. Sometimes it don't work.
Yeah.
Sometimes one leg goes up and that ain't no good. It's
Now once you get to Windsor, you take a flight back to Kansas?
yeah, Chillicothe, Ohio.
Ohio.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's under, if it's 300 or under, you're close to 300, they'll put you in a rental car and drive you back. Then you get 35 cents to drive a rental car. I'd rather do that, but they don't pay you for flying. They pay you to drive. So
Yeah, I'd rather drive.
yeah, after the bombing and missiles, I just soon stay away from them.
Yeah.
Just leave me behind. I can't.
Now I would imagine that they take a whole bunch of these. What do you call these? Dollies or?
It's a FFE saddle.
They look pretty heavy.
You can put 12 of them right after 40,000 pounds. They're somewhere around 3 grand, about 3 grand, 3,000 pounds.
Now I would imagine once they're done using this and delivering, you put this on a flatbed instead of shipping back to Ohio. I see.
I don't understand. It's about $250 per saddle to get it back, and that's what I've heard. Now, if it's in California, clearly it's a little bit more to get it back on here. But
How does it drive? I mean, is it kind of, you get that whip effect or no?
not with this one, because it's set up The ones that are saddle mounted that you see that are stacked.
The piggyback, yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, up here, forward of the tire, it's nice and stable. The ones that come out of Canada, the little ones, it'll have a 7 axle on there, and it's decked 4 or 5 feet in front of that axle. And these ones are soft on that steering wheel, you have trouble never move because it's all back. But there's some like little FedEx trucks or the UPS trucks that have just one axle, and they put the saddle here, and they pick it up. It's now saddled behind this axle. And all you got to do is blink, and that rear truck starts running. So that's why they only got 3. They'll only do 3 of the little bitty like FedEx trucks for you. But
Now, what's the maximum that you guys can do? Just 3 or 4?
4 is the maximum you can do. 497 feet capable.
I know where this is going. This is going to Millis Transfer, right? They have the color. I mean,
that could be. Maybe that's where they work
Yeah.
at the dealership there in Windsor.
yeah, these are Millis truck. I kind of recognize the color, I guess. So.
Oh, we got one right there.
Yeah. There you go. Right? Yeah.
Works for me. So I guess they'll put the number and put all the decals on it.
Hey, you get paid by the load or per the mile or?
Get paid by the
By the mile.
depending on how far it goes.
That's the scale thing going.
Yeah, under 500 miles, it's 50 cents a mile. 2,500 miles, you're going to the West Coast, it's like 27 cents a mile. But you get $5 for every safety check, that's every 150 miles or 3 hours, just like a flatbed. $5 for a quarter hour, it's about $5 for filling up. So when you get a little one out of Montreal that's got a 70-gallon tank, every stop you do a safety check and you fill it up, it's $10. That's the way I look at it. So, and between here, Montreal, and say Southern California, you can fill it up 25 times. Because I don't have to put 27 actually, and because on the sheet, the expense report, you got a list all of them, and there's 25 lines. And I had to get another sheet and start.
Now, how long have you been doing this transporting thing?
5 years.
5 years. What were you before that?
I drove for Avery.
Avery, okay. Flatbed. Now, how does somebody like me who's been driving for 20 years, but reefers and dries, how do I transition into something like this? Do I got to get special training?
Yep, take you out. It's the 4 ways. It can be 96. It's easier to drive than a 53-foot trailer.
It is?
It turns a whole lot easier because when the first truck's turning, the back 2 trucks are still going straight. So when you get turning, it takes a little while for it to snake on. It's like a train. It takes a little while for it to snake on. Went out for they'll give you a test drive. And the first time I went out, these are just like driving a B train. So you got to be a little careful, a little better with these. But that first 4-way I went out, I said, I'll tell you when to turn, you turn. And he said, turn. I said, we're pulling these things out of the ditch. Never touched the curb. Went to another one, he said, I'll tell you when to turn, you turn. I said, we're taking out that pole. Never got close to it. It is amazing.
But it looks really intimidating. From somebody like me who's got no experience, it looks very intimidating. No?
It looks.
It looks.
Yeah, I was at the last. They had 2 weeks of training, and it was basically helping the other guys deck it up, and you had classroom and this, that, and the other. But the first load I took out was this setup right here. I went from Ohio to Greeley, Colorado. And I never drove one of these things before. Outside, he took me out for a test drive, and I drove it all the way out there. And
no special permits, no oversized, nothing.
No, federal law, you're allowed 97 feet.
Okay.
Now, on highways and interstates and main roads. Some roads you're not allowed on, like the turnpike.
Oh, you're not allowed with this thing?
Pennsylvania Turnpike.
Okay.
If you're X amount of feet, you got to have a pilot car. And something else you got to have, you know, it costs more than pilot car. And so you got to go to downtown Pennsylvania sometime. Downtown Pittsburgh. It's like, I don't understand it. Someone said, well, the interstate toll road is privately owned, so they can do it there. I said, okay, that makes sense. But,
Yeah. Now, is this job seasonal, or is this all year round?
no, right now the oil prices are down. We were sending like 35 trucks a day to Western Canada because we go all over the U.S. and Canada.
Okay.
But Alberta and Lloydminster, Edmonton, Grand Prairie, just Calgary, all Western Canada, they got their oil sales going. And with the oil prices down,
Companies are not ordering as much.
we're sending maybe 5 trucks a week.
Holy smokies.
So yeah, everything's, you know, last time I was out in Texas, I went by, or Oklahoma, where it's Halliburton is. I went by a field that was, you could have put this truck stop in it 4 times, maybe 5 times. And it was, Halliburton has red 800s and generator trucks. I mean, it was just full. Stuff that we've been, you know.
Yeah, those guys are hurting right now, aren't they?
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of people laid off just because they're capping off the wells. Like I said, last time I went through there, you know, the oil rig trucks are parked everywhere. And drilling companies, they were saying, talking about how many of them are now filing bankruptcy because...
I almost transitioned into, I actually looked at it and, you know, I've been watching a lot of people on YouTube and all that stuff, and they said, man, you can make a lot of money here, but, you know.
I talked to a couple of drivers, and one of them was up there, and he said, yeah, you'll make a lot of money. He said, but you're going to spend a lot of money. He said he said, plus, you very few hard top, very few hard roads. You're on secondary, you're on gravel roads, dirt roads. He said, I'd like to beat the hell out of my truck. And he said, I was paying $1,500 for a spot, a parking spot in the field just to plug his truck in for an extension.
Up there in Minot, North Dakota.
$1,500 just to plug his truck in. And he said, so, and he started thinking about it. Yeah, it's like the gold rush. You know, the gold was found. So the guys that weren't mining, they were making their money.
The guys that were selling the shovels, they were making the money.
Yeah. Everything, you know, it was gold dust, so everything was a pinch. So the bartenders would hire the biggest guys, the men with the biggest hands, so they got a bigger pinch. So if you had little hands, don't worry about it. You'll never get a job in the bar because you can't pinch much. So, but yeah, it was. I started looking at it. Then I started really looking around, and you'd be out in the middle of nowhere, and here's this giant RV dealership, and they're selling things left and right because these guys are coming in instead of trying to find a place to build or rent. They're just getting RVs and going up there.
Yeah.
So, and it's like, what goes up?
From what I heard, that the gold rushes or the oil rushes hurting the local people because the people that lived in that city, the prices used to be so low, but when the rush goes, things got so expensive, but their job is the same. People had to move out.
Yeah, if you're working for somebody, unless your wages go up, yeah, they're going to make some more money because they're charging more so hopefully.
Yeah, the rents were anywhere from $500 to, it went up to $3,000 or something like that.
Oh yeah, and there again, if you got a tenant that's been there for years, you know, what do?
Yeah.
You're going to throw him out so you can triple the rent to some oil that's going to tear the place up, or leave him in there. Now, businesses, you're going to give your employee a raise to keep him around, or I don't. So.
All right, what's the number one thing you don't like about this job? I mean, how it reacts, what's the hassle?
The only thing I don't like about these is these saddles. You got to get underneath them, and I just assume not mess with them.
So it's not just sit and go. You got to do all the.
Yeah. Do the work. And I don't mind it. It's, you know, sometimes I got these. I can get underneath these. There's none here. Sometimes these are all closed off. And they got these skirts.
Yeah.
I got too much girth. It's hard to squeeze underneath there. So, but when it's open like this, yeah, you can skinny in there and I can take care of it. But when they're a piggyback, the one thing I don't like, and I don't care if it's on a hoist, wrecker, or forklift, there's two bolts that drives to the front axle.
Yeah.
There's two of them. I don't mind undoing that one bolt. It's that bolt, that last bolt. I don't like that bolt. If it's on the wrecker, I like it a little bit more because I can take it up and but I just don't. That's the worst part, just to me, because it's all above you and it's
How does this drive in the wintertime? Do you guys do winter also, or?
Oh yeah, we do it.
How does it do in snow and ice?
Yeah, just like any other truck does. Now the piggyback, that can get a little squirrely because one of the first loads I got going to California was Northern California, so I was going across the Tetons, and it was April, and it says, you know, there's big signs up there, don't use your cruise control. And so I'm cruising along about 40. They don't put ice down or salt down, they put sand.
Yeah.
So I'm cruising along and I go across the bridge. Lead truck goes this way, the other truck goes this way, and they're all kind of wadding up, and it's like, oh no. And they come off the other side and just straighten right back out. And I was doing about 25 mile an hour, and I did that for about the next 100 miles.
Isn't that the scariest feeling?
Oh, man, yeah. But then again, if the roads get real bad, just pull off the car.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. You know, I told my wife, I said, none of these trucks are worth me winding up in a ditch somewhere. So you don't have to worry about me.
We used to carry snow chains, and if it got bad enough, I'll chain it to the nearest post. When you leave, you get chains if you need them. Montreal, they'll put them on the load for you because they got no sleepers, so they strap them across the frame. But I've never put on a set of chains in my life, and I like that. So if I got to use chains, I'm set. I'm not going to argue with it. I don't know how to put them on, don't know how to take them off. They don't really work without the bungee cords. Hey driver, thank you. Be safe. Yeah, we'll catch you guys later. Peace.